Business Now is brought to you by the Information Technology Association of America, business development, networking, and public policy leadership for today's IT industry, and Unisys, Imagine It, Done, and in part by Sprint, together with Nextel, Stay Connected, Stay Informed, and in cooperation with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, PBS, and Maryland Public Television.
Today, when you think of internet video, YouTube or Blinks come to mind. The availability of video over the internet is the result of much higher internet speeds than were available just 5 years ago to our home and office, and equally important, new innovations in video encoding technologies. Video over the internet is pretty amazing, but it is still far from broadcast TV quality, let alone true HD TV. What would it be like, though, if you were able to get internet video live programming in true high definition on a 42-inch HD TV screen? 42 inches not impressive enough? Okay, then instead of 42 inches, think of watching YouTube on a 126-inch HD TV in full resolution. And not over broadband, DSL, cable, or high-speed business internet lines, but with wireless broadband internet. Not unlike the live video on telephones, but much larger and vastly improved resolution. It's coming sooner than you may think as a result of a very successful government IT acquisition and investment in a small company's technology.
If you can take surveillance video, overhead video, geospatial information, accurately turn it into a product and display it, and then transmit it to the person who needs it on the ground or in their location. That's what will make a difference in terms of saving lives and getting the mission done.
For us, massive is not, let's say, the equivalent of one set of yellow pages, but let's say millions and millions of books of yellow pages, and being able to identify or pick one person out of that in, say, a tenth or a hundredth of a second. We've heard a number of very high-ranking U.S. officials say that their problem is not having massive amounts of data, it's extracting useful information from the massive amounts of data is the critical thing.
We have a solution, a software solution for accessing that data very quickly, storing it efficiently, managing it so that it can be disseminated very quickly, be that to somebody in a local conference room or control center, or to boots on the ground somewhere out in the field.
So again, this actually equates to literally almost a terabyte of information, originally as 7,500 individual files, and we've just made one simple file out of it that I can instantly access and navigate. Before Pixia was able to add this capability of having this kind of a file format and file structure, every time that I moved on a conventional system, I would wait for literally tens of seconds, if not minutes, for the image to pop up. So our value add in this case is just the ability to instantly roam through the imagery and access it, was something that was previously just not, you just weren't able to do it.
Pixia says the company's performance, scalability, and speed are based on its proprietary patented NOAA software.
We could, with limited amounts of sensors, essentially stop anyone from crossing the border, at least above surface. You would instantly be able to see where they are, what they're doing, and it would require minimal manpower. So by just having a few sensors up in the sky and having a few computer systems in one room, you could basically essentially lock off the entire border.
DHS recently awarded Pixia a contract and has already procured their NOAA software to enable DHS to rapidly ingest and disseminate large amounts of satellite and aerial imagery immediately to thousands of locations simultaneously, something that was impossible before.
I had a recent meeting with Secretary Chertoff, and I encouraged him to make sure that the Department of Homeland Security encourages innovation at small business level, because so many of the bright ideas that I'm exposed to come from those small companies.
Patrick Ernst has an entrepreneurial background. His brother Rudy is a veteran of the entertainment world. He worked in research and development for Disney. When Pixia was founded in 1999, Rudy assembled a team of highly sophisticated software engineers, people like Raul Thakkar, who earned credits for his visual effects on DreamWorks' Shrek and Ants. Thakkar says Hollywood sparks the imagination and breaks all boundaries.
Each individual in the company looks at our products from a customer's point of view. So no matter how cool it is, no matter how amazing the user interface is, no matter how amazing the technology is, if the customer is not happy, who cares?
Rudy Ernst does not focus on the limitations of connectivity and bandwidth, but on what can be done.
What we will guarantee is no matter how much, or in most cases how little bandwidth you have, we'll guarantee that we'll squeeze out every bit that we can per second out of that pipe to make sure you get the highest performance possible.
Pixia put those words into action when Hurricane Katrina battered New Orleans. Pixia worked with NOAA, FEMA, and global engineering giant URS Corporation to assist in disaster response and recovery over a 13,000 square mile area.
We literally, within a day, were able to acquire imagery from NOAA and then disseminate those to the end users out in the field. You can clearly see that there was a breach that occurred here. And if I head due east of this levee breach, you can see how all the properties are completely submersed in water.
Whether you're talking about the warfighter or an emergency responder, there's a tremendous amount of value for people to have actual image data. Hearing for the first time when it was used, and that there were actually folks, pilots and helicopters, that were using this as they were doing their rescue missions and using our technology to get a better sense of what the ground looked like before they flew in there. That was a tremendous feeling of success.
Our value proposition, very simply, is that Pixia will be able to read and write whatever file format you would like faster and more efficiently than anyone else.